Welcome back to Explain the Charts. Today we're taking a look at the Nasdaq 100 ETF, QQQ, and seeing if there are any correlations between the current news and the chart data. Let's start with the news. The Federal Reserve just made its first rate cut in 4 years, which has been interpreted as a sign that the U.S. economy is on track for a soft landing. Inflation is cooling, and the labor market seems to be normalizing. However, the Nasdaq has been experiencing some volatility lately, and investors are still concerned about the potential for a weaker economy. The market is looking for clarity on whether this rate cut will be the first of several. Another news item impacting QQQ is the announcement of a new CEO at Nike. While Nike stock has jumped on the news, its impact on the broader market and specifically on QQQ remains to be seen. The global economy is also being closely watched as trade tensions and geopolitical uncertainty continue to create some nervousness. This uncertainty can lead to market volatility, which is something to keep in mind when trading QQQ. Now, let's switch to the charts and see what they tell us. First, let's take a look at the daily chart, spanning the last year. We can see a clear upward trend, with the price of QQQ consistently breaking higher. The recent dip in price is worth noting, but it appears to be a healthy correction. The key takeaway here is that the Nasdaq has been performing well, with a clear upward trajectory. We'll discuss the details of this recent dip later. Now, let's zoom in on the 1-hour chart. Switching over to the 1-hour chart, we can see a more granular view of the recent price action. The dip in the daily chart looks much more significant on this time frame. It looks like QQQ hit a short-term resistance level around 475. It's worth noting that this resistance level was previously a strong support level, which can often serve as a reversal point. This is a classic pattern seen in market dynamics where a support level becomes a resistance level after a price reversal. We're seeing a decline in volume, suggesting that sellers may be losing steam. Additionally, we can see some bullish candles forming, suggesting that buyers may be stepping in. So, while we're observing a dip on the hourly chart, it's not necessarily a bearish signal, but rather a potential shift in momentum. Let's take a closer look at the last 24 hours on the 1-hour chart to analyze the recent dip more thoroughly. We can see that QQQ experienced a sharp decline from around 475 to 455, but the price has since bounced back. This suggests that the selling pressure was not strong enough to break through the previous support level, which is now a resistance level. A quick look at the 15-minute chart might provide us with even more insights into this dip. Now, let's switch over to the 15-minute chart. Looking at the 15-minute chart, we can see the recent dip in more detail. The selling pressure was quite strong as the price fell rapidly. However, we can also see that the price has already begun to recover. Buyers seem to be entering the market, and the volume is picking up, indicating a potential shift in momentum. It's important to note that this is just a short-term view of the market. Looking back to the 1-hour chart, we can see the bigger picture of this recent dip. The bounce back on the 15-minute chart suggests that this dip might be a buying opportunity, but it's crucial to look at the bigger picture on the 1-hour and daily charts. Now, let's look at the daily chart once again. We can see that the recent dip has brought the price back to the 20-day moving average. This level has historically acted as a strong support level for QQQ. Therefore, we can expect this level to provide resistance as the price attempts to climb back up. We can also see that QQQ is still above the 50-day moving average. This is a bullish indicator, as it suggests that the long-term trend is still positive. Overall, the daily chart suggests that the current dip might be a buying opportunity for long-term investors. The price is likely to find support at the 20-day moving average, and the long-term trend is still bullish. Going back to the 1-hour chart, we can see a potential breakout pattern forming. The price has been consolidating for the last few hours, and it's approaching the previous resistance level. If the price breaks above the resistance level, it could signal a strong upward move. Conversely, if the price fails to break above the resistance level, it could indicate further consolidation or a potential pullback. We'll need to closely monitor the price action and volume in the coming hours to determine the outcome of this potential breakout. Finally, let's recap the important price levels to watch going forward. On the daily chart, The 20-day moving average has been a strong support level, but it could act as resistance as the price attempts to recover. On the 1-hour chart, we're watching the previous resistance level, which could become a breakout point if the price breaks above it. Overall, the short-term outlook for QQQ is uncertain, with both bullish and bearish possibilities. The market is likely to be influenced by the news regarding the Federal Reserve's rate cuts and the economic outlook. It's important to monitor the price action and volume closely to determine the market's direction. A break above the 1-hour resistance level could be a bullish signal for short-term traders, but a failure to break above could indicate further consolidation or a potential pullback. On the daily chart, the long-term trend is still bullish, suggesting that the current dip might be a buying opportunity for long-term investors. Remember, always do your own research and consult with a financial advisor before making any trading decisions.